Hello friends, I am here today to discuss one issue that just was the biggest burning issue in our country and ended with resignation of our Union Education Minister. And I am trying to travel a seldom traveled path here, if not an untrodden path altogether. Let's dive in. The Neet paper leak controversy has understandably created enormous anger across the country. Students and parents protested. There were demands to identify those responsible, punish the people involved, investigate the authorities, and even hold the Education Ministry accountable. All of these questions are legitimate. But I want to raise a different question. Why are we talking almost entirely about the people who leaked or sold the paper, while paying much less attention to the people who knowingly bought it? I am not defending the people who leaked the paper. They should absolutely be identified and punished. But shouldn't the people who knowingly paid lakhs of rupees to obtain a leaked paper also face serious consequences? Because there is something very fundamental about this crime. A seller needs a buyer. If nobody was willing to pay for a leaked examination paper, why would anyone take the enormous risk of stealing it and selling it? The Neet investigation itself reportedly found cases where candidates and parents allegedly paid substantial amounts for advance access to the paper. So there were two sides to the transaction. Someone was selling an unfair advantage. And someone was willing to buy that unfair advantage. Why should we treat only one side as the problem? Look at other illegal markets. Consider the way we deal with drugs. Under India's NDPS law, prohibited narcotic and psychotropic substances cannot simply be produced or sold. The law also prohibits activities including possession, purchase, use and consumption, subject to the specific provisions and permitted exceptions. Why? Because lawmakers understand something very simple. If you want to destroy an illegal market, you cannot look only at the supplier. You also have to address the demand. A drug dealer needs customers. If only the dealer is punished while the customer faces no consequences, the demand continues and another dealer will eventually appear. The same principle can be seen in environmental regulation. Take the restrictions on certain single-use plastic products. The objective isn't simply to identify who manufactured plastic. Regulations can intervene at different stages of the supply chain and restrict specified products from being manufactured, supplied, stored, sold or used. The underlying principle is important. Don't look at only one end of the problem. Now apply that principle to Neet. Why shouldn't the same thinking apply to examination paper leaks? Of course, we need extremely strong security around examination papers. Anyone who steals, leaks or sells a paper must face severe punishment. Officials who deliberately assist such a leak must be punished. And authorities responsible for serious negligence should be held accountable. But there should also be a clear legal deterrent for someone who knowingly purchases a leaked examination paper to gain an unfair advantage. I'm not suggesting that every student who somehow received leaked information should automatically be treated as a criminal. There is an important difference between accidentally receiving information and deliberately paying for stolen examination material. There is also a difference between a young student being manipulated by adults and someone knowingly participating in an organized transaction. But where there is clear evidence that someone knowingly paid for a leaked paper before the examination, why shouldn't that itself be an offense? At the very least, there should be consequences such as cancellation of the examination, disqualification and substantial financial penalties, and, for deliberate or organized participation, appropriate criminal punishment. Think about the message we are sending. At present, our public debate tends to focus on the question of who leaked the paper. That is important, but I believe we should ask two questions. Who leaked the paper? And who knowingly bought it? Because the second question attacks the economic foundation of the crime. Imagine a person who has access to an examination paper. If they know they can sell it for 20 to 30 lakh rupees or more, there is a powerful financial incentive to commit the crime. But suppose the people willing to buy that paper know that purchasing it can result in disqualification, loss of their examination attempt, heavy financial penalties and criminal prosecution. The demand becomes much more dangerous for the buyer. And when demand falls, the market becomes less attractive to the seller. That is how you attack both sides of the problem. This is also about fairness. There is another reason this matters. A student who spends 2 or 3 years preparing honestly for Neet is not simply competing for marks. They are competing for one of a limited number of medical seats. If another candidate obtains the question paper illegally and gains an advantage, the honest student can lose an opportunity because somebody else was willing to cheat. So this is not merely a problem between the seller and the buyer. The real victim is also the honest student. And that is why the law should protect the integrity of the entire examination system. What should we demand? Instead of demanding only to punish the people who leaked the paper, perhaps our demand should be to punish everyone who knowingly participated in the illegal transaction. That means, identify the people who stole the paper. Identify those who sold it. Identify the intermediaries. Identify those who knowingly purchased it. Cancel results obtained through proven cheating. And, most importantly, create a clear legal framework that makes knowingly buying a leaked examination paper itself a serious offense. At the same time, the law must distinguish between deliberate participants and innocent students who had no knowledge of the source of the information. One way may be to track the trail of payment and punish each payer. When such a system settles down, we can pin down other beneficiaries as well. My final question. We rightly ask, why did someone leak the Neet paper? But perhaps we should also ask, why was someone willing to pay lakhs of rupees to buy it? A crime involving money has two sides. One person sees an opportunity to sell. Another person sees an opportunity to buy. If we punish only the seller, we may remove one criminal. If we address both the seller and the knowingly participating buyer, we can begin to destroy the market itself. So my question to policymakers is simple. If knowingly buying illegal drugs can attract legal consequences, why shouldn't knowingly buying a stolen examination paper, with the intention of gaining an unfair advantage, also be treated as a serious offense? Because, the real solution to examination paper leaks is not just to ask, who leaked it? Perhaps we should also ask, who was willing to buy it, and why does our system not treat that demand with equal seriousness? Think about it. Jai Hind.